Welcome, 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 welcome.
Hi, guys, and welcome to another Digital Jamaica Live. It's November 19th. Katie, you're looking beautiful as usual.
Thank you, and same to you.
I am so
I'm
excited.
in husband looking mode and it's almost Christmas. I have to try,
Oh, no.
I have to try.
I am
So,
so.
some of us have to try harder than others when going.
I am not taking you on right
Don't
now.
make me bait your love.
Yes, I'm not taking you on. All right.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We have a very special guest in house waiting to come on, the beautiful Victoria Taylor,
Yes.
aka Victoria Knows Marketing, aka Victoria Knows Best.
Best.
She is a multi-talented. I don't know what Victoria can do. Victoria is a fashion designer. Victoria is a
She's so
photographer.
close.
Victoria is a muggle. And
Content creator.
she's a digital and content marketing
Yes.
specialist.
Yeah.
So you guys are getting an all-rounder tonight. You guys are
Yes.
getting somebody who knows content, making, designing, distribution inside out. All right. So we are absolutely happy to have Victoria with us tonight, and she'll be on shortly. But Monique, can you start off by telling us what's going on with Digital Jamaica, Digital Disruption Agency? What has come up within the last week or so that we need to share with these beautiful people?
Yes. So, guys, you know that we always are moving. We are always doing things. And we really have a quick update to tell you about our strat development workbook. There have been some production delays, printing delays, and as such, it has delayed the publishing. We will have it out to you, though, but it will be pushed back to January 2021. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we know,
Child,
guys. We
everything
know.
has slowed down. Just getting the ISBN numbers for the book is stressing a man. Oh God.
Right, so we're sorting things out for you, and we still are promising it to you. You still can do your pre-orders because it is coming out, and you know from we said that something is valuable, that it's chock full of information, it would like gold, right? But you can still look forward to the launch 2021 workshop series. Guys, we have amazing things planned for you. We have 4 workshops, but 5 presenters, because last week you guys heard from Mishak.
And
And
y'all
Mishak
love
is in the
Misha.
chat. Big up yourself, Mishak. And he casually dropped some major gems, and you guys were loving it. And so he's officially joined our lineup for the launch 2021 digital workshop series. So only pa uno did have question. All ipa uno did have question. You, every one of you who wanted the personal audit of your page, need to be in that workshop. If at that workshop alone on the register for, because you know you need the help. Not even help, the help.
The help.
All right. So make sure that you are signed up, and you also know we have our content workshop, we have our engagement and community building workshop, advertising and promotions. We have so much information to share with you guys. When we say that what we communicate on the lives are literally the tip of the iceberg, we mean it. There is so much information that we have to share with you guys, and we're really looking forward to doing so. Kenya, my throat, I tickle
You
me.
need some water.
So you
What's
have to
going
go,
on?
you have
You
to go
okay?
take over. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some water.
Okay. All right, guys. Monique will be right back. I think she just needs some water. All right. So last week's session, guys, is now up on our YouTube channel, Digital Jamaica. Please go and subscribe and rewatch the videos. If you were not able to make it live last week, or if you feel you missed something and need to hear it over again, please go and rewatch the videos. What else? She's left the building just for a minute, but Monique has been nominated for the Boss Lady Awards 2021 by the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. Yay! So, and that is going to take place tomorrow. We're not sure if she's going to win yet,
Both
but if
Monique and Kadia have been nominated.
Monique has been nominated. Let's not do this. We've been doing this all day. Okay.
Both Monique and Kadia have been
Both of them
nominated.
have been nominated.
Thank you.
Victoria, Monique was nominated, and Monique is going to be at live tomorrow at the Jamaica Development Corporation. She's either going to be the winner. Monique, stop. She's either going to be the winner or the runner-up. Have you had your water? Because you're adding more on water. Okay. She's going to be at the Jamaica Business Development Corporation tomorrow, either accepting the winner prize or the runner-up prize. But as we all know, she's a winner, period. Okay. And we're just happy for her nomination. And she was really nominated because of the work that she was already doing from the digital marketing chick. Remember, she was the digital marketing chick before, and now we have merged our two businesses together to form the Digital Disruption Agency. And now even bigger things are going, right? And the Digital Disruption Agency wouldn't have grown as fast as it has grown if it wasn't for this merger. So I am the best decision I've ever made. Okay, this is the first adult decision I've made that I'm like, okay, maybe I'm doing something right as an adult. Do you know what I mean? So we are happy for that. Congratulations, Monique. Go and accept the award and just be amazing. Anyways, moving on. And so yesterday, guys, we hosted day 2 of the Biz Tech Conference, the Jamaica Computer Society's Biz Tech Conference, and it was a resounding success because we say hosts.
Shut up the place.
Shut down the place. We've been getting feedback from the panelists. We've been getting feedback from the Jamaica Computer Society. We've been getting feedback from viewers and services who knocked it out the park. They loved the energy. They loved the information. They loved it. And I was able to moderate 2 panel discussions in collaboration with the Kingston Creative Group yesterday. One was with Kenya Mattis from Listen Me, Glenn Henry from Sprite Ranch, and Renee Robinson, who is a field commissioner. We had an amazing conversation about what is the Jamaican identity and when you're creating that kind of content. And these are relatively new fields for us in Jamaica, like illustration and animation and gaming. Right. So what are the responsibilities that they feel they have of creating a Jamaican identity and not being beholden to an interpretation of Jamaica that is usually external, right? And then Kenya brought up that, especially with anime, the Japanese aesthetic is very cemented. It's very well established. Once you see an anime, when it looks a certain way, okay, so this came out of a studio out of Japan. And they were talking about how do we develop something like that for Jamaican aesthetic that is not stereotypical and that is not centered in a white gaze. In the white gaze, as we say, it's not something that white people think it is, but what we as Jamaicans think it is. And now with digital, that we have an opportunity to tell our own stories, we also have an opportunity to build our identities. That was a powerful conversation. I was sitting there like, that sounds amazing. Okay.
Yes, and you and Kenya were reading each other's minds.
Yes, Kenya is a mind reader. I don't know, but she was on it. She was on it because she knows her shit, right? And then in panel 2, we had Kenya Linton George, who's a fashion designer. We had Mark Tracy from First in Line Jamaica. We had Catherine from Kingston Creative, and we had Kian Hutchinson from Kian Patrice Design. She's a digital artist. And we had a whole conversation about hybrid events. We had a whole conversation about monetizing content and digital marketing. And listen, I looked cool on the outside. I was like, yes, I do this every day. Like, but the inside, I was like, oh my God! It was amazing. It was awesome. So we shelled day 2 and everybody loved it. And we're like, yes, check. Now we can be hosts. Yes. right? And yesterday was a full day for me because I was actually a panelist, so I had to jump out of the BizTech
I
conference,
need to talk about this one. Kadia
and
did
I
an
was a panelist
amazing
on the
job.
Branson.
Nope. Kadia did an exceptional job yesterday as a panelist at the Branson Center's Leadership Summit. Listen, them draw for some heavy hitters. They drew for Kemal Brown from Digital. It's Digital. They drew for Sharon Washington from P3 Solutions. Gabriel Heron from Jam Pro. Them the people they know, pan lineup. And Kadia Moakos, Fan Francis, right? I must say, my girl step in that room and she just done it. She just done it. She just lick. And every word to say, everybody's like, yes, yes, yes. And people chime in with their story, and then Kadia just chip back in. Me say, Kadia, are you sure? Are you take over? Me say, are you sure? Right? She
It
did
was a great
so much so that every single one of them, they're like clamoring. They're like, let's talk again. Let's do this again. She literally did an amazing job sharing yesterday. Kedia, you're good like gold. Like
Thank you. Thank you. I'm blushing over here. Sugar black, you can't see, but I blush. But what was amazing for me was I had a because it was for a while it was me and Kamal really kind of having that conversation and really bouncing off of each other and really pulling each other out, and that was amazing for me because I'm a fan of Kamal. I think he's amazing. But then my login for me account this morning, I'm going to say I was saved.
yes.
Kalila Reynolds tagged me in a post and reached him. I'm like, oh my God, I've arrived.
And girl, blush.
My life is complete. Yes. So while we were talking yesterday, I on the summit, because I always like to give people examples of local people doing this thing, so they know that it is not only possible, but that you have examples of people here with the same experience, same background as you doing the thing. So I brought up Kalila Reynolds because in our digital careers workshop that we're doing with ILE, she is a case study that we brought to our students. So I brought her up to explain that she's really hitting all the marks, and that is why she's so successful. And because of the digital transformation that she has made, she's now earning fully digital now and earning. And she just launched Kalila Reynolds Media, and we were like, okay, love to see this,
girl. We see
because
you.
it put us in the space of a Marie Forleo and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, this is how you do digital, right?
Yes.
So she said she saw the thing and she loved it, and she was flattered that I mentioned her as somebody who's doing something right. So I was tagged on her page. I was like, oh my God, it's so amazing. So that was I mean, the conversation was lit, but that was like icing on the
cherry
cake
on top. Cherry on top.
for me, because I really love Kalila Reynolds. I think she's amazing.
Yeah.
What else happened yesterday? I was also on NCU yesterday morning having a conversation about digital entrepreneurship and youth, and they want a part 2 because the conversation was also lit. And I'm gonna be posting the audio because it was a radio. It was NCU 19 FM. So I'm gonna post the audio sometime tomorrow over the weekend, so you guys can actually hear what the conversation was. So guys, and this is why I said I really appreciate Monique so much, because so many things have been happening behind the scenes, good things. And I think it's because of her. And because of her, we are able to now take on more things and be in more places and do more things. And it has raised our profile. And that is why I'm also very appreciative of her as well. I know that there's 2 of us and we're going, okay, so we need to hire people. We're stressed out. But it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We spoke with GC Foster. I was able to.
Oh yes, you did the GC Foster. When was it? Tuesday.
oh God, I feel like it was last week
It
because
was
things have
Tuesday.
just been
Or was it Monday?
happening.
I think it was Monday. Monday, Monique was on with GC Foster and
Yeah,
Shishali Place. Yeah.
yeah, and
People love the presentation.
yeah, yeah. So many things,
Oh,
so
Chrissy
many
G
things.
said, I so appreciated your contribution yesterday. Thank you, Chrissy G. I
Oh,
appreciated it. And what I noticed too, guys, so many people hit me up on LinkedIn after that presentation. I was like, oh my God, I was just taking notes. We were just taking notes. Loved your presentation, whatever, whatever. Guys, things are up over LinkedIn. And what we're on LinkedIn. Things are up over LinkedIn.
all right.
Joel is in the chat. Joel, no
Yes,
Joel,
hey
no sir.
babe.
Yeah,
Mm.
things
By
are
the
going over
way,
LinkedIn.
talking about Joel, his conversations yesterday. Joel,
Oh my God! For
remind
International
us,
Men's Day.
of the organization who kind of pulled things together in the chat. But he moderated and led a conversation around masculinity yesterday, and I was
Scrape
able to watch.
line. They're called scrape line.
Thank you, Scrape Line. And I was able to watch a replay because I couldn't get to it live. There were some little patches, but trust me, I sat through the patches of the interference. It wasn't only, it was Instagram. And I enjoyed the conversation so much. Sheldon Shepherd, Michael Abrahams, Carla Moore, and there was another guy.
Andre
And
Millwood.
it wasn't Andre. There was a guy with a beard, and and they had, it was just an amazing conversation, and I appreciated it so much, and his insight too into other areas, asking those questions from your journalism background. Big up yourself. Really, thank you, and thank you for translating that into a digital space so that we could appreciate it safely. Um, we we do have something to talk about by Andre though, because Andre Millwood, our friend, colleague within the digital space, and Pixel Edge have designed this new summit, this seminar called Futures Edge. Listen, I don't know what Andre don't do. This summit is designed to build awareness of the different digital opportunities that Jamaicans and Caribbean persons, by extension, can enjoy. It's happening now. Y'all can join after our live. But we definitely want
They
you to
go up
check.
until 11 o'clock.
Yeah, they're going until 11. We want you to check them out at futuresedge.live, right?
Monica, yeah, you okay?
Yeah. If I'm okay?
Yes.
I'll be fine.
Okay.
Right? So those are the what's
updates.
happening. Yeah, nothing.
Right. But in other news, and we're going to run through the news quick because Victoria is coming on at 8:25, okay? So in other news, Cayman has now joined Antigua and Bermuda as countries who are offering digital nomad visas to persons. And yesterday, on day 2 of the BizTech conference, the Minister of Foreign Affairs from Antigua and Barbuda was actually on, and the Honorable Chet Green, and he was saying that, listen, Antigua and Barbuda is open to opportunities, open to collaborating with Jamaican businesses and other Caribbean islands to make sure that we are building a sustainable future for Caribbean nationals. So he was talking about food sustainability. He was talking about the whole climate change issue. So Antigua and Barbuda is really doing this as a way of kind of bolstering, at least continuing tourism and kind of mitigating the effects on the economy, because for a lot of Caribbean islands, you guys know that tourism is really right. So that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. So Cayman has joined the crowd. It was Bermuda first, and it was Antigua. No, Cayman has joined the crowd. I don't know what Jamaica we pan, but
the next big thing that we need to talk about is NCB and their brand new gig network. NCB has launched,
and by gig we mean freelance.
Yeah, right. So NCB has launched a brand new website, and yes, yes, we're talking about the bank, the financial group has launched a brand new website that is meant to connect freelancers and entrepreneurs who are looking for working opportunities. They're starting with their internal opportunities. So a lot of their own needs that they have, whether it's for content, whether it's for development, etc., are posted on the site, but it's not just limited to NCB opportunities. Uh, we're looking at it, Katie. This is competition for the Hive that just launched their own freelancer network.
Man, I have nothing to say.
And I mean,
But money knows how I feel about this.
I wonder. It raises a question. Like, I understand that NCB as a private company that has shareholders wants to provide its shareholders with value. You know, you want return on your investment, and if in one sector or area there's been downfall, because people made redundant, them can't pay them loan, whatever, they have to find alternative ways of making income. But a bank, do you think that there is that proper fit? Could it have been done where they support
Jamaican banks have a history of moving away from their mandate and their portfolio into other areas where they're now directly competing with private citizenry in certain areas. Remember the big white elephant up by what was her name? Stony Hill, that big hotel where they go by. Yeah, NCB has a history too of borrowing ideas from people and doing it, and it doesn't work out. I don't know what this is all about. At first I thought it was their personal recruitment center.
I thought so too.
And then we realized that it's actually a freelance platform. And I'm going, well, this is very curious because it's launched in now. Curiouser and curiouser right after the Hive had its big launch the other day.
Yeah,
that's interesting. The thing that I am most concerned about is personal data. So now you have to sign up and register with these people. What are they doing with your information? And I think that this is a catch-22 where, they have jobs that they're posting, etc., etc. But this is just another way for them to get your information so they can retarget you for loans and other stuff as well. So
I think on the other hand, it may add some more legitimacy for those for the businesses or big corporates.
No, I'm sorry.
Who have been resistant to accept or to venture into this space.
Me and Monica got disagree with that. Antipat says like a Fiverr. It's nothing like a Fiverr because it's like a Fiverr in terms of how it is set up, and that is what Loop says. But you know how Loop people write them names. But it is what these are legitimate jobs. These and a lot of the jobs are hard tech jobs, what we call hard tech jobs, coding, software development and stuff. And a lot of them are analyst jobs. And guys, a lot of future tech jobs and digital jobs have a lot to do with data and data analysis and software development and stuff. So these are actually jobs that are now needed. These are necessary jobs. But I'm sorry, we don't need NCB to add legitimacy to this. It's freelancing anyway, which means that these people are independent persons. They can always go look job and they're not relegated to Jamaica. So no, I don't think there's a flip side to where NCB is adding legitimacy to these people. These people are professionals. And I'm sure they have to submit some kind of certification and something because I don't think this is pure freelance anyway.
Not legitimacy to the individuals who would be applying, but in terms of the comfort of organizations and their willingness to post onto some sites like this.
Because I don't care about Jamaican why Monica gonna get me out tonight. I don't care about Jamaican organizations and what they think is legitimate or not. That is why half of them failed during COVID because of their resistance to this digital thing. These people don't need Jamaican organizations to get jobs, software development jobs, developer jobs, data analyst jobs are international. These are jobs that are needed in a global market. If local companies are going to lose Jamaican expertise because who want to have legitimacy, that's for them problem. I'm very sorry. I think very different about this than most people think about it. I think it's absolutely ridiculous for us to be sitting on and banking on them coming to feed them senses. No. And somebody in the chat asking if this is not healthy competition. Healthy for who? Because NCB is a huge institution. It's a huge institution, which means that they have the power to crush smaller institutions for them to move into certain spaces. Not healthy competition, actually. It's like what Facebook do with other people when they crush other social media sites and then try to buy them out because of, because Mark Zuckerberg is a vampire.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more like that because which company, how many organizations in Jamaica can fight NCB with money?
Can compete with the NCB, exactly. You
Still
can't compete.
They have yet.
They have the marketing budget. They have the marketing budget.
It's not just about marketing. They have the budget. They just have the NCB,
budget. They can buy you. But instead of NCB backing, because if what NCB is doing is about supporting gig and freelancers and the small businesses and MSMEs, why didn't they back the Hive? Because that's what the Hive is, a small business and MSME. Why didn't they back the Hive? That is where they should be putting their money into backing these things, but not trying to compete with these small entities.
Maybe they didn't want the investment or the collaboration. Anyways, we said we were bringing on Victoria.
I don't know if it's corporate bullying. I wouldn't go as far as to say it's corporate bullying. I just find it curious that they're venturing into certain spaces without changing their internal structure. NCB hasn't restructured themselves to be a digital company. So I'm just finding this interesting, and I'm wondering if this is a trend that they're jumping on and how far this is going to go. Because there has been several of these platforms that NCB has thrown out and it died a horrible death. So I'm just wondering, but there we are.
We'll see. Let's see what comes of it. All right, guys. So you guys came here for a particular conversation, and we have the amazing Victoria Taylor on board to share with us. Victoria?
Yes, so Monique go get me right up and then tell me to shut up. Lord Jesus.
Hi, Victoria.
Hi guys. So sorry about that.
No problem.
Thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm really happy to be here. I know we're going to talk about content and creating high converting content. I'm all for it. But just my 2 senses. I saw the portal and somebody sent it to me. And I think, yes, I kind of agree with Katie in terms of them jumping the wagon. But I also think it's a smart way for them to find high quality talent at a lower cost, as well as kind of like money grubbing all of the freelance talent so that they don't have to search for it. And that if it does become something bigger, then they'll be like, okay, we have the data and we have all the people we need to reach out to. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. And not just that, because they have the corporate. They have the corporate businesses. So in truth, they don't need a Hive, because a Hive would have been to provide them with the contacts. They already have the businesses who have accounts with them. So they don't need a middleman to provide them with access to people. They have the access to people.
It wasn't about a middleman, though. That wasn't the point about
it was just about, I think it was just about showing
Victoria, I agree with you, spot on. It's twofold. It's one way of them supplying themselves freely, cheaply, without having to go to the whole thing of
I'm just saying anything you can do, I can do better. Like I think I'm not sure what the censorship is, but I think it's a dick measuring contest. Just because.
Seriously, that's what I'm saying. They have the budget. They can do this. You know what I mean? But I'm saying taking on a more supportive role, I think, would have been a better look for them. But then maybe I am the only one over here saying that. But
I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. There you go. But thank you for saying that, Victoria. Thank you for
it is what it is.
Letting us know what you think about it.
Yes.
Okay. And if you sign up for the platform as well, let me know what your experience is like as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'd love to hear if you actually have signed up for the platform. We'd love to hear. So, on a sister, she pretty. On a sister, she beautiful.
Right?
Gorgeous. goody. But not only is she absolutely gorgeous, but she's actually absolutely talented as well. And we love a talented bear. Okay. And so Victoria is, we were saying earlier, Victoria, don't know what you don't do. You're a fashion model, you model. I want to see a picture now.
Okay, so during
every
the
time I see a picture, I'm
daytime,
like, okay.
during the daytime, guys, I'm a digital and content marketing specialist and consultant.
Mhm.
And at night, I'm a someone who designs. I'm
You're a
sorry.
cat feeder and
Yeah,
a cat
I also have
mom.
a cat who's trying to come in. Sorry, guys. So during the nighttime, I'm also a fashion designer, and I'm also just for myself, not for anything else. And I love content. So my personal profile, Victoria knows best, is
You sure you know I'm gonna let in the poor cat, Victoria?
no, don't worry, he's fine. Somebody's
Okay.
gonna go get him. I
Okay.
apologize. And Monique was in a meeting with me earlier, and my cat showed up. So I'm also a low-key cat lady.
Yes.
But
All right.
as I was saying, I really love content. So my personal profile, where you see all the really nice glamorous shots, it's just me practicing what I love, which is content, which is creating content and using it to solidify a brand.
Yes, amazing. And guys, Victoria, you probably recognize her from the flyer, but Victoria is our day 3 workshop instructor on how to build a multi-channel content marketing strategy to next level your 2021 digital growth. And one of the most important things, Victoria, and I know certainly this is, how you see content, is that a large part of it is about storytelling.
Yeah.
Right.
And because what you say and how you say it, I mean, the premise, what the point of the whole content creation is just as
Absolutely.
important as the production and the distribution. So tell us a little bit about.
It's just human nature. Like, our brains are naturally wired to want to hear stories. Why? Because it just makes everything seem more exciting. We're in a culture where we're watching series, we're living vicariously, we want something that connects to us and speaks to us. So when you use storytelling for your content, it allows you to, one, attract your audience, the audience you want to attract, because your story is only going to connect with someone you want to sell to, who is your ideal customer. So it's not just something that's like, oh, do storytelling because it's pretty or it sounds nice. It's because it's a psychological way of you to siver through the people that don't really connect with your brand and find your tribe and your community. And two, it's a really nice and sophisticated way of selling without sounding like
Being
you have to buy this.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Without
So,
being
and the
salesy.
third way is that it's also something that differentiates your brand from everybody has a different story. But if you don't tell your story, then people aren't going to know what your brand stands for or why they should be invested into it. So that's how
Right.
storytelling, branding, and content, they just tie together so perfectly.
And I think that last thing that you said is really it, because when you started talking, I thought immediately to these stories are how we process. Stories are how we, for generations, communicated what's good, what's bad, how to do this. It's how we've remembered. It's how we've passed down traditions, history, everything. It is also traditional. It's also so connected to culture and a people. And so what you just said about really targeting or talking to those deeper levels of a person, it so aligns, it so connects with essence.
Yeah. And I mean, stories are a good way for you to really connect with emotions, because people they don't just buy just because something is shiny. They buy because it helps to evoke a certain emotion. So let's say, for example, Grace is a local brand.
Yes.
Grace's way of storytelling is that you're using food to bring people together. You're using food to evoke a memory. So, when it comes to Christmas time, it's not just really about the ham and the curry goat. It's about, how your mom used to make it, or who's gonna bring the food over, and how it's like the one little window out of the entire year where your family just come together and everybody just vibe, and it's a cultural thing. And that's what Grace does when they're doing their commercial. That's why sometimes if something happens, you're laughing or you're joking, because they're using storytelling to hook you in. So the next time you see that ham that was in that commercial or that ham that was in that post, you're not just thinking about the ham, you're thinking about the experience and the story the ham is going to bring for you and what you learned from Grace. So that's one of the ways that storytelling really taps in, and it's a deeper form of marketing, and it's not as easy as most people think it is.
Okay, can we in terms of the layman now, everyday regular content on like social media platforms, etc., how do we incorporate, or how do we build out a storyboard then, for our everyday content? Is it that we build out a storyboard, say for instance we can do it by via like a theme for the week or a theme for the month, and then build out a storyboard around that, where every post for that period of time is going to be telling a story over a series of posts? Or how do we make it easy to then build out that story and then share that story across our like socials?
Right.
Hold on before you go, Victoria. What I want you to do is just to tell us one. Yeah, I know your brain, Katie, ask layered, multidimensional. I want you to give us one, or to share one, because if people want to know more, they have to come to your content marketing workshop. All right, go ahead now.
Okay, so
Go
one
ahead.
way that you can
Monique always a market.
this is why the digital disruption agency is where it is,
Remember when you said it's all because of you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, one way to do it, okay, I can't just give one way, I have to give two. I'm sorry. Just a little
Okay.
bottle. So there are two
Okay.
ways of doing it. One,
Yes.
which is it's now considered the traditional method of online, where you do a medium or long form of caption, where you start talking about and building up the story. You have the who, what, where, and why. And this works really great for influencers or people who are building their personal brand and they'd like to be seen as thought leaders. Right.
Okay.
And it's kind of funny because earlier in Instagram, or even just last
Early
year, a lot
adopters.
of people used to say long captions, that's not where Instagram's supposed to be. But if you notice, most of the major brands, most of the major influencers, they kind of mediate between short and long captions. And the long captions are usually telling a story, endorsing a brand that's pushing the product that you're going to check out and that you're going to buy.
Yeah.
That's one
Deeper.
way. Right. And
And
two,
Instagram, sorry, before you go on to number
yeah.
two, Instagram literally, because we used to see our captions, and then because space and more users, they cut us and said, okay, I think it was 3 lines first. No, it's 2 lines. And literally, if you go over a certain number of characters, if you did the 2 lines, but it's a little extra, a little too much, the ellipses will come
Will
up,
come
and
up.
they'll cut you off real quick.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And then the
man. Go
second
ahead.
method of it is, as Katie, I would suggest, is picking an overarching theme and using that to kind of navigate your captions and the content you're going to use for storytelling. So storytelling isn't just about captions as well. It's about the type of content that you use. And you could use a GIF, you could use video, you could use an image, you could use UGC, which is user generated content, to help share stories. And this is to say that even though I've just listed 2 ways, there's so many layers to those 2 ways, as well as there's so many different forms and shapes that you can tell stories. You can use Instagram stories to share a story. You can use YouTube as your method to use content to share a story. But the point is, you're not limited. It's just for you to figure out, what is your goal? I mean, I'm someone who's big on goals. So what's the goal of the story? And now how do you navigate? Because we have this saying in Jamaica, like everybody can dance, but not everybody a dancer. Same
Mm-hmm.
thing goes for storytelling. Everybody can tell a story, but not everybody is a storyteller.
Victoria, do you think that's why more platforms are incorporating
Stories
in
Or
stories? Because
influencer?
LinkedIn, stories, because
and Twitter.
LinkedIn now has a stories feature. Twitter rolled out a stories feature
Yeah, I need to update
recently.
my app.
YouTube
Yep.
have a stories feature.
Yep.
Just every social media platform right now has that feature. Do you think that's why that's happening?
I think yes and no. It's a symptom of what the bigger thing is. I think it's also because people have realized we're sidetracking a little bit, which is TikTok. TikTok has really proven that in order for you to really get with the times and really connect with people, it's a fast growing form of content.
Short form content.
Short form of content. And that's also why Facebook and Instagram has kind of like jumped on it. And then the other social media brands are like, okay, this is something that's not going away. So TikTok has proven that you can tell a story in a short amount of time. And guess what? A lot of people are going to gravitate to it because then they're going to connect easily. And TikTok really forces you to get to the point, but you have to get to the point
and be creative.
Right.
So let's talk about FOMO now as part of the content strategy. And guys, we're jumping to different conversations. So if you want to hear Victoria lay out all of it with storytelling workshop, okay? So Victoria, let's talk about FOMO as a part of your content strategy and about using it to generate interest in your content.
Okay, so first off, I'll say FOMO, FOMO, is the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
Right. And something that most people, unless you're a marketer, you'll get it, or unless you work with, all right, most people, unless you're a marketer, you'll get it, or creative, is that marketing isn't just about selling or marketing. It's about tapping into emotions that push people to buy, right? Again, there's a science behind it. So FOMO is the fear of missing out. And what it means is you're using content to let people feel like if they don't take this offer, if they're not joining this Digital Disruption Launch 2021 workshop, they're missing out on how to be the best version that they can be, or they're missing out on something that other people are partaking in. So it's that fear. And guess what? You have all been influenced by FOMO. Nobody can tell you otherwise. You've gotten an email, it's like discount, but you can only use it tonight. Or you've heard, oh, somebody's going live. I have to catch the live before it ends. That's
yes.
FOMO. Those are ways. Or we only have a limited amount of stock, but that's FOMO. Like that's FOMO in the basic form.
So it's adding urgency to your CTAs to make sure that persons are taking action quickly and not giving them too much time to think about the thing, because if you give them too much time to think, them sensible brain and go chip in.
Right. So using that urgency. So the urgency
overthinking brain.
The urgency is to make sure that one, it gives a sense of exclusiveness, because as humans, if we know something's going to be around for a really long time, we're not going to move. Perfect example. When it's hurricane season, everybody's buying canned foods, you're buying candles, you're buying lamps, you're doing it because that's FOMO. But outside of hurricane season, you don't even look twice at a can of sardine.
COVID and toilet tissue.
You know who is good at FOMO? The Jamaican government, because only when hurricane season come here, them talk about them limit water supply, etc. Victor, jumping quickly to creating high impact content. First of all, what in your opinion makes content good? And can you give us like one tip to how to make good content impactful?
Of course. So for me, good content is something that's useful, it's unique, and it connects with your audience. It sounds a little bit ambiguous, but if you want the detailed layout of how to create high impacting content, join the workshop. And I'm going to go step by step through every single thing. But in this live, I'm just going to tell you the basic of basic, which is useful, unique, and connects with the audience. And second, an example.
So good content is useful, unique,
and connects with your audience.
Okay.
Right. And this is to make sure that you're not just creating content just for the sake of creating content. You want this content to have an impact. That's the
Yeah.
goal. And a perfect example of good content, should I use a local brand or an international brand?
Use a local brand. Yeah.
Use a local brand. Good content that I've seen is Berger. Berger had a color campaign where it was like adding color to your life.
Oh,
And
yes.
and they showed different ways that you could use not only paint, but how you could redecorate your space so that it would have more room, or because a lot of people are working from home. And I saw that and I was like, that's good content. That's content that's useful, it's unique, and it connects with your audience. You want to connect with people who want to fix their space. One of the ways.
And it's non-intrusive, and it
And
doesn't
it's
feel like you're selling. You
And
feel
it's
like
storytelling in its way. If we look in the details of the ad,
Yeah.
Katie, what
Right.
were you saying?
I was saying that Berger kind of used the Pantone approach.
Right. They do. They do. So
And
that's
so
one way.
That's so layered. That saying is so layered because Pantone and Pantone.
Yeah.
Let me miss it.
We'll say it offline. So another way that content is really high quality is that, or for you to help your content to grow or to be seen, is to decide whether you want it to be paid or organic. Right?
Yes, child. That's a whole 2 shows.
That's a whole other conversation.
Paid versus organic content. Victoria went there, so let's get into it.
So not to give too much detail, because once again, I want you guys to come to the workshop. Paid content is content that you've paid for. And this is not limited to social media ads. This could be content that you have paid a influencer to give, right?
Mm-hmm.
Content that you have asked customers to make for you in return for something. Right? In return for rewards or a discount. That's also a form of paid content.
Some kind of incentive.
Right? And then you have organic content, which is content that's solely created by you, right? And you've released it and it's limited to only the people who follow your account, as opposed to paid content where people outside of your following account or who are engaged in your social media or online platforms will see. Because the whole point of paid is you're reaching out people who don't know your brand exists.
Yeah, you're going outside of your community to pull more people in.
This is nurturing my community.
Oh, I love that. Organic content. I'm typing that. Organic content nurtures your community, while paid content bring in more persons.
Yeah.
Increasing network.
Increasing your network.
Okay.
More succinct way, you know.
Love that. Oh, sister, she's smart. Love that. Victor, now we could have a conversation, like several conversations about the efficacy of paying to be seen. It's literally a lot of social medias, especially Facebook, controlled social media platforms, is literally now pay to play. For the most part, and one thing that we've been saying for the last couple of weeks is that the name of the game in 2021 is visibility and relevance. And now that social media platforms are becoming crowded because everybody will jump on it, right? How are you going to stand out? Now, there are organic tactics that you can use to help also boost your profile and stay relevant to your community. And there's paid strategies that you can use to attract more persons into your community and kind of build that out and then see how you can convert those persons. All right.
I mean, we also have to kind of talk about the fact that social media platforms, especially if you're a business, it's not built to encourage you to grow organically.
No,
it's built so that you pay, they earn money from you.
Exactly. Somebody says if it's free, then you're the product.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So you really have to all like not just Instagram, not just Facebook, but all of these social media platforms, they're built as pay to play. Anyone who says, oh, if you have a business, you can reach this organically, you can, but it's going to take a longer time than it would be paid, because your social media platform is at one point, it's going to block you because it's like, oh, you're growing too big. I'm not getting any money from it.
Definitely.
What's going on?
So the last thing, Victoria, is content creation tools. What is one platform persons can use to create content, or can you share with us one tool that is in your content creation arsenal that you think more people should be paying attention to, but they're probably not paying attention to it?
Honestly, I'm just going to tell you guys this from now. Because if you're on my page where there's Victoria Knows Best or Victoria Knows Marketing, Canva. Like, I'm not an affiliate for Canva. I don't get paid every time Canva is mentioned, but I can tell you for a fact, like, even their paid version, that has completely changed the way that I work. It helps with workflow. And sometimes, and I'm not discrediting, because the graphic designers are designed for these things, but sometimes I create stuff that are even better than graphic designers, just using spending time on it. It's a godsend. And trust me, the paid version, you can create videos, right? You can do presentations, you can do websites, you can do assets like creating really well-designed emails. You can do a whole lot of stuff with Canva. Trust me, it's worth the investment. The learning curve isn't even that bad, because
it's a lot of templates, and you can literally just customize the templates.
Exactly. It's amazing. Like, I'm speechless. I'm not even exaggerating. It's amazing.
All right, so you guys heard that. Now, if you want to hear more from Victoria about everything that we just talked about and so much more, she's going to go in depth, because she has 3 hours with you guys on the workshop, and she's going to teach you guys the tools, the strategies that she has used, strategies that you should be using come 2021, because guys, social media has completely changed. Social media January 2020 is not social media now, and it won't be social media January 2021.
COVID is evidence of that.
I can
sped that process up
fast. Oh God, man. Fast. No, social media is becoming like one giant marketplace. We're moving more towards a WeChat version of social media than what it is. And if you guys don't have the right strategies, you're going to get lost in the noise, right? So invest in yourselves and get the information that you need to make sure that you're launching out into 2021 with the best strategy, and to at least get you started, because your strategy is going to be evolving rapidly next year. Okay. 100%. All right, guys. Victoria, any last words, any last bit of advice before you go? What do you want them to know, and why do you think they should definitely get into join the workshop?
I would say this, and I'm not just saying this to for the workshop's sake, but I'm saying this as well, that I would say to my clients or people that I'm close to: if you don't take the time to learn and improve yourself when it comes to the online not just social media, but just online. Sorry about that, guys.
That's fine.
If you don't take the time to learn how to master social media, in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, you're gonna wish you had, and you're gonna be left behind.
It's not the next 6 months.
Next 6 months. It's not a you can't Google everything. You can't YouTube everything. Sometimes you need to hear from the people who have taken the paid and the freed, and they've put skin and they've been burnt and rock on a hard place to tell you no, yes, go slow. This is the platform. So it's really just, you have the opportunity to access not just marketing experts in this workshop, but Jamaican, Caribbean based, who have worked with local and international brands. So it's not somebody who lives far, it's somebody who knows what's going on in Jamaica. And these courses are tailored to people who are Pan-Caribbean, so that when you propose yourself or when you position yourself online, you don't look like
an idiot.
Or it look like a patty shop. You look like an international brand stepping out, representing yourself in the best way possible. That's all I can say.
I love
Right.
it.
Love that. Don't, here, Victoria, don't look like a party shop in 2021.
That's
Right?
not a vibe, guys. That's not a
Get,
vibe.
get the information that you need to make sure that you are at least, because this is the thing, guys, we say it all the time. You don't need to only be catering to a Jamaican market, but if you want to break into the global market, you have to look a certain way, you have to elevate your brand, you have to look like you're ready for the international stage, right? Can't be a party shop thing. Thank you so much, Victoria. We have like a couple minutes left. And we are so grateful that you joined us tonight. And guys, if you want to hear
Yes.
more from the amazing Victoria, make sure that you sign up for the content marketing workshop. The link is in the bio. Go
And
get your life.
guys, yes. And guys, in the few quick moments that we have left, I would like to announce our digital Jamaican of the week.
Ta-da-da-da.
She is
Okay, I'm sorry.
beautiful, she is effervescent, and she is someone who has used the digital space, particularly social media, to build her brand and build her business online. Um, Mr. Producer, can you display who our digital Jamaican of the week is, please? Okay. All right. So the digital Jamaican of
Okay.
the week will be posted tomorrow. However, her name is Sue Ann Gregg. It's Sue the Makeup Girl. So many of you guys know her, and she's been able to use social media. She started out with Facebook,
She is fully
transitioned to
online.
Instagram, and
Yes.
her brand and her business, her clients, her connections are international. She has built her entire business leveraging the power of social media, and we really want to big her up. You'll see the fantabulous photo on our page tomorrow. And so we really want to say big up yourself, Sue, and thank you so much, Victoria, for joining us this evening. Guys, if you haven't yet registered for the Launch 2021 Digital Workshop Series, what you waiting for? Get your life done. We see you every week. We know you need the information. Make sure that you are registered. Katie,
And
yes?
nominations are still open for the Digital Jamaica People to Watch
Listen,
2021.
I don't even
Guys,
know what we have
we
in
have
store for you.
over 200 nominations, and I am excited AF over here.
Listen.
And wink, wink, so a special guest of ours have been nominated quite a few times. But
Also, guys,
anyways.
you wouldn't even believe
What we are
we have
working
in
on for the
store. What
nominees.
we
Oh
are working
gosh.
on for our nominees. It's not gonna be normal this year. We have some stuff that we're putting our blood, sweat, and energy into this, guys. Make
Yeah.
sure that you've nominated the people who you want to be recognized. Nobody come afterwards and say, "Oh, this person should have and could have nominate them."
And nominate
Nominate
yourself if
them.
you are an up and coming digital Jamaican who feel that you've been putting out the work and you deserve to be spotlighted. Nominate yourself. Okay,
Yes.
guys, no, you can only nominate 5 times. Okay, after that, cut off. All right, so go nominate.
All right.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Talk
Bye.
soon.